what do you got?
I think I can prove to a judge that both of these men had the mens rea.
What the hell is a mens rea?
It's a legal term the lawyers use. It just means the intention to commit a crime.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Mens rea?
Put the cuffs on him.
How could we have gotten mens rea? We take blood? Can you do it without taking blood? We both use condoms. How is this possible? I want to see a doctor. Can I have an independent blood test?
Money!
I feel sick.
What are you doing?
Mens rea! Oh! Oh! My God!
We are mediocre, and all mediocre people can do is get drunk and forget.
Hey, bro, come on, let's get drunk.
I get drunk. Real drunk. I want to get drunk.
I mean, sure, when you get drunk, you're lawful disgust and you smell too.
Drunk and stay drunk.
Let's get drunk and pass out.
Did you get drunk, dance in your underwear and sing sea shanties?
I got a hell of a good idea. Let's get drunk.
All we want is to pass out and get drunk. Have a little peace.
So, we get drunk, and we're left like hell, and then we die. And the pipe dream vanish.
They deserve to unwind and get drunk.
We have to get drunk immediately.
You gonna get drunk tonight, Daddy?
Damn.
Well, I say we get drunk because I'm all out of ideas.
Lilu Dallas Multipass. Lilu Dallas Multipass.
I don't know how many times I can play that. I have literally played everything I can possibly play to buy some time. Hi, everybody. It's me, Legal Vices. I'm here. I'm all alone. Why am I here all alone? Well, because time zones and things. There's a slight misunderstanding. Some of us thought it was 9 a.m. Eastern, like everywhere is posted and discussed. Other people thought it was 9 a.m. Central. So there we are. I'm buying time here for a while until something happens. So hi, I'm Legal Vices. Welcome to the channel. DREX will probably be joining us at some point. So there we are. It's Friday here. It is Friday night in Korea, and I am enjoying this thing here. So we've got it's Open Phones America. We've got open lines here. We can pretty much talk about anything we want because I don't have a damn thing to talk about till DREX shows up. Oh dear. So what's on everybody's mind today? Doesn't that sound like the laziest broadcaster ever, the guy that just turns on the microphone in the booth and says, "It's open lines Friday. Call in. Tell me what you want to talk about." Yeah, so that's what we're doing. I can't talk about these things that you guys are talking about in chat. Like literally none of them. I literally can't talk about any of these things. But we are going to be talking about what's right with the world. Is there any hope for us? All I know is I don't think so. It's clown world, it's crazy world, everywhere. It doesn't matter. Oh, here he comes. Hello, sir.
Jeff, what is up? Wait, Jeff, you're getting time zones confused. What do you mean Eastern time zone?
It's like it's on all the advertisements and all this stuff. For some reason, people in YouTube land designated Eastern time zone as that time zone with which all other time zones are
yeah, I was like, I'm fucking
modded on.
It's all good.
And it's we are here. Sorry to bump you up. What the hell did you say you were going to have for breakfast?
A shitty TV dinner. You know when you
That's
wake
what
up.
I thought you said.
So, Jeff, have you ever gotten up and you go like this? You have options on what you can eat, right? And you don't want to make food, but it's too early to go out and get food, right? You just don't have that energy. You're like, I just need something that just sustenance, right? So that's where I was at. I was like, this is going to be a sustenance meal right before I go hop on the show. And then I'm like, let me go get to right as I say, get to the store. I look down, I go, fuck is this? See you in a bit. So in an hour. I was like, wait, what? Oh goodness.
Yeah, so I saved your life. Just think of that. Just think of it that way. You know.
Oh man.
I prevented you from having a TV dinner for breakfast.
Oh man. Everything else takes so long, right? Bacon, eggs, grits.
Well, what TV dinner were you planning on having?
It was one of those. It's actually one of the ones that's not too bad. It's the what the hell is it called? I think it's like is it lean cuisine or healthy choice or something? It's actually like edible. It's one of the
what was the menu that you were looking for?
I think it was the Adobe chicken one. So you got the chicken, a lot, like a lot of greens and stuff. It's edible.
Yeah. Well, hell. We didn't get the introduction we wanted because I was gonna introduce our guest and bring up that. So I was gonna introduce you and bring this up on the other screen.
Oh goodness!
You can't start without Mushmouth in the morning. And after all this time, we finally found out that Mushmouth was saying, "Mr. Cosby drugged me and raped me." That's how he was saying. Well, should we just dispense with the niceties and just jump straight into it?
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. First and foremost,
DREX, are we done? Are we done as a society? Is it over? Is it? I mean,
no.
Is there any good left in the world?
In the world, yes, there's a lot of good left in the world.
What is the good that's left? What is it, DREX?
You represent the good that's left because you left the place that is a rotting shithole, right? The West is done. Let's start there.
How come it didn't end? Was it about 15 years ago? After like 30 years after Al Gore said that we were all going to die in 15 years?
Oh yeah, Al Gore. Okay. So this is something about Al Gore. Do you remember during his presidential run and all that? Do you remember what he kept pushing? And his whole message was global warming, right?
Yeah.
Remember, it was about warming.
We have to call it climate change now.
Yeah,
because the warming didn't happen. It's climate change now.
So then, guess what, Jeff? Places got super fucking cold, and they were.
I know.
Oh shit! Florida's getting snow. There were blizzards in like Las Vegas, and they went, climate change. Well, okay, now climate change can be anything, right? Hot, cold, windy. Anything, just climate change. So let's put the Green New Deal.
And I am very much in the camp of if we think that we can impact anything about this world on any meaningful level, that is the height of arrogance. We are microscopic parasites crawling around the surface of this planet. When the dog wants to shake our asses off, it will shake our asses off.
Yeah, you can think about all of the technology that we have, right? We don't control the weather at all. We react to weather and prepare for the effects of said weather, but we don't control it. Like, hey, Jeff, look at these crops, man. They're fucking dying. We can't go like this. Summon right now. And do you notice if you put water on plants, it never has the same effect as rainwater. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
It's like, you can try to, this is the beauty of nature. You can manufacture whatever you want to. It's never the same. Mother's milk is different from some fucking Similac. You see what I'm saying? You can never get the real. That's the beauty of nature. This is the reason why, with this whole Rainbow Coalition agenda, to try to confuse people. Oh, happy Straight Pride Month, everybody! Fuck Dylan Mulvaney. So there's this thing where people think to themselves, Jeff, what we're gonna do is we're gonna confuse everybody to hating each other, clashing all the time, while we suck all the resources and gain all the power. And they won't even know it because they're so stupid. I hate to say that they're right, but they're right.
But why are we that stupid? And I'm not, this, I'm not an environmental crusader. I'm not a let's just plunder and pillage the earth. I'm for sensible consumption. If I can walk somewhere. It's good for me, and do my part. But I mean, when you get you're killing the environment by driving a gasoline powered vehicle. You need an electric vehicle. Okay, have you seen a battery graveyard for these cars? And how exactly do you charge? Well, you plug them in the wall. And where does that electricity comes from that you plug in the wall? Oh, from the coal? What?
I know. I know.
And
But
it's been the joke since I was a kid that we have batteries that can last forever, but the great battery empire is preventing them from being marketed because somebody loses money. You know, it's that.
Well, let's be realistic though. What is everything in our society, Jeff? On a core level, what is everything really about? Appearance.
Okay,
Right?
I was going to say convenience, but
think about it. Watch this. I stand for this. What is that? Watch this. I stand for reparations for everybody in California. What are they really trying to say, Jeff? I need to appear that I can't. I'm so benevolent.
Virtue signaling. Yeah.
I'm virtue signaling. So, okay. So then when someone says student loan debt forgiveness, listen, man, I'm going to tell you right now, I never took out a student loan during college. And when I hear people that talk about how, but DREX, my student loans, you got to understand, I can't pay off this 150 grand. Would you mind telling me what you got your major in? Theater arts. What in the fuck did you think you were going to do with that? You see what I'm saying? Now, hold on, Jeff. These are the same people when they look. I'm sure you heard. I think it was her name is Ebony K. Williams, right? Some German Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
She made that. I'm sure you've heard about it, right? Because it went viral. Yeah. She, like most, especially women in general, look down on blue collar men, right? They thumb their nose up at them. Y'all ain't shit. You're beneath me because you're not as educated as me. But who's the one begging for forgiveness? So that means you want blue collars and people who have paid off their shit, responsible people and blue collar people. You want them to pay off your elitist, useless fucking degree, right? But then once that's paid off, you know what they go back to doing? Instead of working at Starbucks, they go right back to talking shit about you. Well, yeah, I own my own house. Well, yeah, because someone paid off all your fucking debt. Yeah, it's easy to, Jeff, this house is owned, paid in full. It's easy to do that when you don't have debt, fam.
You know, see, and I look at it from the perspective of out of law school, I had probably close to $100K debt. And when you pay $1,300 a month for 12 years, and you get somebody that's, like you said, just fucking around in college, and they took out loans and blew their loans on probably 90% of things other than school.
Absolutely.
Like, you owe me this. You have to pay this back. You need to pay off these loans. I can't. You signed your name on the goddamn line that told you exactly what you were going to have to pay back. You don't want to do it, but then I couldn't go to school. Then don't fucking go to school. There's people out there with 2, 3, 4 jobs and a family trying to put themselves through school. Don't go to school. Go to a trade school. Do something. But then, like you said, they don't want to do that because, you know, yeah, I have zero sympathy for that. And I firmly am deadly. I mean, if you're going to do something in the public sector, if you're going to go be a public defender, if you're going to be a social worker, if you're going to do something like that actually contributes to society, I might be willing to talk about it. But if you're just like, yeah, I fucked around, I signed up for all these loans, I got as many loans as I could possibly get, now I don't want to pay them back, I got no use for you.
No use. And this is the thing. While you're in school, this is the craziest thing that I remember thinking about, because Nick and I talked about this because we were in the same writing courses and things like that, right? And we were like, yes, like we know what degrees are worthwhile and what are not, right? Yeah. And while trying to figure that out, but one thing that we both were fully aware of was that, like this, you don't want to get into some huge debt with something that you know deep down in your heart is useless, right? So there are certain degrees we all know, right? Lesbian underwater basket weaving is useless, right? But you already knew that. So if someone think like if you ask somebody, if someone got one of these useless social science degrees and stuff, and you know all that, let's use sociology. That's a very common one, right?
Yeah.
Every chick that you bump into has a social degree or a psych degree, right? I majored in psychology. Oh, good. All these bitches are crazy. So whatever, right? Let's entertain it. So you got a psych degree, and then do you remember this question? Because all adults used to ask this. So what are you gonna do with that? Remember that question? What are you gonna do with that?
Oh, yeah. See, that was the thing. My first was quarters way back in the day. My first quarter of university, I was a psychology major. I took one psychology class and realized the professor is nuttier than anyone that I'm ever going to come into contact with. So I dropped that. Then I went into music therapy. I was a music therapy major for a year. And I mean, and Utah State University had 100% placement in the music therapy department. So I was really stoked about that. But then I got in this weird interdepartmental politics in the music department.
What was that
and
about?
I'm like, just if you have this professor, then if you take classes from that professor, I'm not going to give you a grade, or just that kind of shit. Just the feuding professors fight. And so then I said, all right, I'm going to be a philosophy major. And so my dad, that was like 3 fucking strikes, you're out. Psychology, music therapy, now you're a philosophy major. You're never going to amount to anything.
Yep.
And as I've mentioned before, my favorite thing my father ever said to me was, "You're not worth the powder it would take to blow you to hell."
Damn, that's savage.
It's funny now, but,
I miss.
But then you can go, look, I'm going to flip this into a law degree. Don't panic, Dad. But yeah. Oh, we've got some super chats here. This should be interesting. Let's see what people are chatting about. Richard Grubber says, all in on the DREX blackpilling LFG. Who's LFG? What's LFG?
Yeah, we'll have to ask Richard Grubber what LFG stands for.
What's LFG?
There's too many acronyms now, man. I can't even keep up with them.
I can't either. Plus, I'm not in acronym land. Ian Max is not to drop it on you, but wondering what the legality roughly about turning back boats with refugees is. I don't know. As long as they don't come into your territory, I guess you can stop people from entering your country. I don't know if there's any particular conventions between other countries that say you have to take boat people in. I don't know. It depends where you're at. Look into the treaties. Look into the United Nations refugee treaties and things like that. There might be something. Short answer, I don't fucking know. How's that for a short but honest answer? Rick Nikita says, go blow every nuke on the planet and tell me we can't impact the weather. Well, at that point, we won't really care about the weather.
Yeah, you won't care.
Will we?
In a nuclear winter, you wouldn't care about most anything.
Yeah, not for very long anyway. Jason J. Fact, we have more trees today than we did in 1900. I firmly believe that. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't. And EZ007, service guarantees citizenship is the way to go.
That's an excellent Starship Troopers line. One of my favorite movies, man. That movie, oh God, excellent.
The Army will give you free college, says Flux.
My girl.
Oh, and Marv White. Let effing go.
Let's fucking go. Okay, yeah,
so,
that's what
black pill, let's effing go. Okay, that's just like let's effing go and black pill everybody, not let's black pill somebody or somebody.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
Jeff, this is the craziest thing, man. I came to this realization, a while back.
All right.
I think that it depends on how you view there's red pill, blue pill, black pill, blah, blah, blah. But let's be honest. Isn't getting out of the West and living your best life abroad where I was talking to a buddy of mine, right? Because he's moving to, hold on. Is he Thailand? Yeah, he's moving to Thailand, right? So he's moving to Thailand. I got another guy I work with who's moving to the Philippines. He already has a house out there. These guys are established, right? And he starts breaking down the exchange rate for each of these countries, right? And he goes, hey, Drex, do you know where our money goes even further than Thailand and Philippines? I said, where? He goes, Cambodia. So he goes in Cambodia. He goes on Google and shows me the Cambodian riel to the US dollar, right? It was like $1 was like 42,000 of their money. I was like, holy shit. I'm sitting there looking like, and he's like, yeah, man. So this is how it works. And so he's breaking it down to me. And I'm sitting there myself, I'm like, okay, for all the people here, right? All those men that were called useless, they're stupid. They're all these things, right? I started thinking about, what do I expect out of the future, right? As passport grows, right? This is what I expected. And Andrew has talked about this. You and I both know, Jeff, in 10 years, corporate America is going to be 100% female, virtually. It's well on its way. I don't know. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to tell the women what to expect. You are going to get, within the next decade, ladies, a true feminist utopia. You're going to go to work. It's going to be all women. Oh, wait. Before you got to work, do you know what you did? You went to a virtually all-female college, right? Because men have you seen some of these abysmal numbers of male enrollment in college, Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
It is based on where you are, right? Right now, it's about a 60-40 split, women, men. Yeah. But some places, it's like 70-30, even 80-20. Guys are checking out of college completely. There was a report, an article, in terms of male interaction with females. 63% of men have completely checked out of even interacting with women anymore, right? So when you hear women, what are they always saying? Guys don't approach. They don't talk to us. They don't. So what do? they get more and more desperate for attention. That's why you saw all these TikTok videos in the gym. Oh my God, look at this fucking creep looking at my ass. The guy's just like there. So eventually you have gender segregation, right? And women will basically be in an all-female space. And for all you, I remember talking about this kind of shit on Nick's show. This was years ago. Jeff, DREX is crazy. I said all relationships were going to be either one of two things: purely transactional or open relationship, right? You're going to be in a cuck relationship. And people said I was crazy. Oh no, DREX, you're just in a weird lifestyle. Hey Jeff, what are you seeing now? What are they openly promoting?
No, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, either it's transactional, right? Give her money and shut up, right? Or OnlyFans, or all this other stuff that people are doing. Or what's the alternative? YouTube. You sit back as Destiny or iCucks or some of these other dudes, right? Sit back and let your girl get hollowed out by a bull, right? May or may not be named DREX.
Destiny.
But think about it now, Jeff. This was crazy. What options are the ladies going to have going forward for men? If guys like me, the men that women want are leaving, right? They're done. So the options, let me tell you, ladies, you're going to have so many destinies on the dating market. Little Weasley noodle-armed dudes with blue hair who are pro-women and pro-open relationship. And you're going to, remember, Destiny makes money. So congrats to him for that, right? Congrats. But however, though, you're going to have beta providers, probably more than one, right? Multiple beta providers. And you get all the attention and all of the resources. But guess what you're not going to have? Masculine energy.
Oh no, that we and I just had a release a short video on this the other day. America is dangerously soft. I don't know about the rest of the world because I don't live there. America is dangerously soft. The last really, really bad, horrific thing that ever happened to America was the Civil War.
Agreed.
We've never had
1865. So what has think about what
we've never had a difficult thing after that. We had the Great Depression. We had World War II, rationing, and a shortage of things. But we've never experienced our entire city being leveled by a nuclear bomb. We've never experienced carpet bombing on our houses. We've never experienced a time when you had to turn off your lights and pray to God the Luftwaffe didn't find your flat. We've never had that level of toughness since the Civil War.
Yeah, you need steel sharpens steel, man.
Yeah, and if I was a foreign power, that would be the time I would consider invading. But we're still to the point where America would defend itself because of the citizenry, but we are moving dangerously quickly to where America will be winning despite the citizenry.
Well, I have said this, and I said this on the stream with Andrew that I did in honoring veterans for Veterans Day, which is you think about all those fallen men, and you think to yourself, if they could see what America is today, right? They gave their life, the ultimate sacrifice. Could you imagine them seeing Dylan Mulvaney out in Washington State? They can get gender reaffirming surgery on your child without your consent. And if you try to go and stop it, you get your parental rights stripped and thrown in jail. If you told this to all those veterans who gave their fucking life, Jeff, you know what they would say? No, that's good. Let me go back in time and just let it all fucking burn then. You see what I'm saying? Because I used to think that even when it came to childbirth, right, and progeny, I used to think that it was more of a boomer. I just want someone to pay into the Social Security system, right? Something then hit me, Jeff. I started thinking, I'm like, I got a daughter and everything, and something hit me. I think I know why parents get so pissed that people don't have kids. It's financially driven, but not in terms of Social Security. They go like this. Everything I did was to produce a family. Had I known you weren't going to reproduce, all of my choices would have been different, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, if think about it though, if you knew that, let's say you had 4 kids, right? 2 boys, 2 girls, and they all said, yeah, we're not reproducing, right? We're I'm done with that, right? One turns into a girl, something turns into a man, something, they just, they're in whatever kind of relationship or no relationship at all. You go like this. Do you know how much I had to sacrifice to make sure that all of you, turned out well, right? And we're in a position. So what ends up happening is you kind of go, yeah, if I could have looked into the future in a crystal ball, I wouldn't have had you knowing you weren't going to have kids yourself. Because yeah, how much money do you save, right? It's $340, for those of you who don't know, it is $340,000 to raise a child in America 0 to graduation, right?
Yeah.
If you could look at a crystal ball and someone said, hey, Jeff, if you have 3 kids, none of them are going to reproduce, you go, well, I might as well save my money, right?
Yep.
You may go,
die with 0. That's my policy. Die with 0.
Yeah. Fuck it. Because what could you do with that money, right? What could you do with $1 million? Because now you're not beholden to a location. I get asked all the time, well, DREX, why are you still in Minnesota? Isn't it fucking obvious? I have a kid here in Minnesota. Like, all of my choices are dictated by her, right? Ultimately.
Yeah, and I'm totally here with you, because that was the same thing. Well, why don't you go back to America after you got divorced? Because I got a kid. But now it's like weird. My kid's in America and I'm here. So
right?
I'm still here. But it's. I mean, that's the thing. And what makes it even worse is the ones that choose not to have the kids. Like, well, why do I have to pay the education tax? I don't have a kid that's going to school. Why do I have to pay this? Because I don't have a kid that's paying. Because that's what we do.
Well, I gotta admit though,
let's just nobody pay for anything ever again and see how far that frickin' gets us.
You'll collapse regardless. And one thing I will say though about that argument, that argument has a lot more credence now, right? And I'll explain why. If back in the day you were still churning out individuals who were well adjusted for society and they produced, and you were a little butthurt that you didn't have kids but you had to pay in, through taxes, you can say, well, that sucks. It does, but in return, you can look outside and go like this. Well, the roads are done, this and that. I feel safe walking down the street, right? You could at least kind of cope that way, right? Fast forward till today. My pronouns are, wait, what? That's what teachers are saying. Jeff, these kids know more about gender identity than reading, writing, arithmetic, right? They don't know shit about shit. They know nothing. They learn nothing.
Oh, hold that idea. That's actually where I kind of wanted to go.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
We have society, we have civilization collapsing because I haven't got to super chats here. Frederick Little says DREX is the best. I look forward to the day he returns to YouTube with his own channel again.
I am excited. I actually have something special just for you, Jeff. You and Andrew inspired me while I was talking to my buddy about Asia.
What did we do now?
So in like making a more positive world. A huge thank you, Vice Rex.
Yeah, that's our new thing. Yeah, the highest super chatter at the moment gets the Vice Rex title. So.
The Vice Rex, nice.
It's an incentive. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about you guys. In paying it forward, right? We were talking about exchange rates, and I started going down the list of the best exchange rates: U.S. dollar to the Iranian rial. As I started going down, something hit me.
Yeah.
If I'm going to move to someone else's country, I want to make sure they know that I appreciate them and that I don't want to be that guy that just, because the Americans have this stigma, right? This reputation of going to people's country and basically just making it worse, right?
And it is deserved.
It is absolutely. There's a lot of douchebags here. You will never hear an argument from me about that. And it hit me. So Jeff, when I get to whatever country I'm going to decide to move to, something that I want to really push forward with Passport Bros. Not, don't be out here tricking on hoes. There's something better to trick on. You know what it is? Trick on the local guys who are there trying to go to school and better themselves. So let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Andrew tells me that a place on the beach in Philippines is $120 a month, right?
Yes.
Okay, check this out. Let's just say you move in there and you start to get to know the locals. I think men need to start helping men internationally by sponsoring young men. You see what I'm saying? This is what I mean. Let's say you're in college, right?
Well, I would say mentoring. I mean, I'm not going to pay them money to sponsor them. They can pay me for me to mentor them.
No. I mean in regards to this way. So Jeff, there are people who are coming from impoverished places, right? They're doing their best over there, right?
Yeah.
If let's say you got 3 guys living in the Philippines, if 3 guys throw $40 a month to cover $120 in rent, how grateful do you think that kid would be? You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like. A lot of these guys, they're busing back and forth to get to uni. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I know the culture. And I said, look, I was shout out to my man Brazil. Yeah, she talked about that. He took an Uber ride to get to one end of Colombia to the other. It cost him $1.55 in US. He goes, I felt so bad. I had to throw him some extra money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's so little for us to give, but it stretches so far for them. So it kind of creates that brotherhood. And that also acts as an ambassador, because look, when I go to a different country, right? If you don't know people like that, you like to have someone that knows the culture, knows the language. Obviously, they can kind of navigate you around a bit, right? it's nice to invest back in them so that they're like, oh no, hey man, they're cool. I'm not saying you got to walk around like a little blue book pendant so people know that's a passport, bro, whatever. But I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like people kind of know, like, hey man, that's a cool one. You know what I'm saying? He helps out here. He's not just here to make it rain on local hoes and you know, eat up the food. You know, he's producing, giving something back.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we gotta get through some of these. We got so many good things to talk about here. It's like stream of consciousness here. It's like I'm interviewing a William Faulkner novel. For God's sake. That's like Dirty Dan says, God's cursed me enough to be awake to catch this stream. LFG. Hey, I know what that means. That means
now we know. Now we know.
Thank you, Dirty Dan. Unhung hero. Thank you so much. Soft eyes and German shepherds. Happy Friday. There you go. And Fair Frozen 55. All life wanted to move to US. Thought when I became an engineer I would, but here in Puerto Rico, I just love deciphering these texts. Thank you, YouTube, for limiting character space. Much better off. Even fun with pew-pews. If you could have just said guns, I would have saved you a couple spaces. All this crap as of late. I've given up on that dream. Got all I need here. Yeah, the American dream is still a real thing. I mean, despite America being on its way to becoming a cesspool, at least around the edges, it still is the American dream for a huge chunk of planet Earth, which kind of tells you how the rest of the world is as well. People are desperately fighting to get there. Bad Weather Biker, what's up, brother? All the corporations are talking about sustainability, but yet they make crappy products that need constant replacement or have planned obsolescence. They're only interested in sustaining dependency. Yes, as their corporate CEOs fly their private jets to the economic summits and the environmental retreats and all those other things. And Frederick Little giving us another $10. That was probably just to remind me to read his other super chat, which I assured him I had not missed. And Doctor of the Dragon Study says, wouldn't Vice Lord sound cooler? It would, but there's like a whole bunch of gang people with the actual name Vice Lord that I just don't need them to come looking for me.
Yeah, right.
Misappropriation. I'm a tired old man. I don't need an entire gang after my ass. I did think of it, but then I thought better of it. Well, okay, we have this is the one thing that I guess wanted to segue into the next topic here. American Dreamer, member for 3 months of the Clean and Sober Crew, says, I feel sorry that DREX can't see the good in America. Good luck and goodbye. There is good in America.
Yeah, I talk about the good in America.
But it's dwindling because we're not fucking stopping it. We're allowing, it's just, you know, if you get sick, you don't just wipe around the edges of the wound. You have to aggressively attack the infection. You can't just let it sit and go, okay, we can deal with this much infection because it slowly spreads. The disease spreads unless you cut it off. And by cutting it off, you have to gouge it out. You have to dig out not just the infection itself, but a lot of the healthy flesh around it.
Yep.
And we're allowing this shit. And today was probably as near to the apocalypse as I've ever been when I realized that I agreed with an Ollie London tweet this morning.
Really?
When he was criticizing the fact that the Arc de Triomphe has been bedecked with rainbows and other shit today. And that's what you were talking about earlier. The people that died for freedom, great. They gave their lives to make the world and America what it is. But a little respect,
Look at okay, think about it like this. It's become a meme now, right? Where people talk about, yesterday was June 1st. Everyone's like, uh-oh, here we go. Every company, everything is all about gay pride. And it's like, okay, military servicemen and servicewomen get 2 days in a year, right? Veterans Day, Memorial Day, 2 days out of 365. Yet the rainbow agenda gets a full month, right? And they go all out for gay pride. And then let's talk about a gay pride parade.
Well, it's like Morgan Freeman said, well, you get the shortest month.
Yeah, you're right. Like I want all of the. And here's the thing, though. All of these designated people.
So even Flux hates Pride Month.
Thank you. Look, this was crazy. Do you notice the people who you tend to be cool with in whatever that little branding is? They hate whatever the month is. So like, watch this. The coolest black people you're gonna meet hate Black History Month. You ever notice this correlation? They're like,
well, you've seen the Mike Wallace interview with Morgan Freeman.
Yep.
We're like, why do I want to be relegated?
Stop talking about it.
Yeah.
See, now notice though, you're starting to notice a trend. Now, obviously, CNN and Mike Wallace is leftist, but this is the thing. They keep trying to create this division. They try to, they use loaded language, leading languages, right? And when guys are like this, no, really, fuck Black History Month. See, everyone assumes that every Black person is a woke leftist Democrat, right? So when you don't say the things that fit the company line, i.e., you go off like Kanye, things like that. Oh my God, this person is terrible. They're a coon. They're an Uncle Tom. Like, oh, here we go with this, right? And what you realize is when you ask gay people, hey, what do you think about, and you start asking them, right? Drag queen tranny shows at school and they're flashing genitals. I've never heard a respectable person who's, under that umbrella, right? Gay, lesbian, whatever. They're like, no, fuck that shit. Why are you dealing with kids? See, so you have the sensible ones, and then you have the people who are, they're over the top, like, yeah, minor attracted what the fuck? No, you're a pedophile, okay? There's no such thing as a minor attracted person.
Flux actually broke it. Flux, put this down in chat because I can't remember the exact wording, but Flux said something rather impactful last time we discussed this about the LGB is a lifestyle and the rest are choices or something to that effect.
I can see where you're going with that.
I need her to put it in chat exactly what it was she said because I don't want to misquote it. But
I kind of get the gist of that.
Can't argue with it.
Yeah, like okay, so
basically, LGB, you're born that way. The rest, you just want to stand out and be the fucking pretty unicorn.
Yeah, I'm trans because I get attention, Dylan Mulvaney, or I'm what is it? What are the other letters? I is what intersex. Is that? No one. Here's the thing. They keep adding letters. I don't even know.
Got the whole damn alphabet.
Mean? Right?
It's
gender
like
queer plus.
That's the space holder for more letters to be taken away.
Eventually, what happens when you use damn near the entire alphabet, right? Because you ever notice though, they used to say LGB, then it was LGBT, and they keep on adding letters GQIA plus. Like, what is the I and the A?
Yeah, that's what it was. LGB equals sexuality. LFHWJSB equals identity. Yeah, it's the sexuality versus identity.
She's right. She's right.
And I thought that was very impactful.
Do you know what I love about Flux pointing that out? Identity someone can change just like that. Yeah. And then you're sitting there going, wait a minute, I thought I was being respectful of you. You just said, no, now I'm this. Wait a minute.
Are you familiar with the character Dame Edna? Absolute Australian hero, great comedian. He had a couple of characters. Dame Edna was a big one. Let's see if we can get some Dame Edna videos up here. I'm sure you've seen God, why the hell can't I say Dame Edna today? That sucks. Dame Edna. We'll just go with random Dame Edna, because the actor that created the character just died a short time ago. Let's see. Yeah, Barry Humphries was the actor. God dang it! What are we gonna do? Oh hell, shit! I'm just like scrolling through, going, "That's funny." No, there's something funnier. There's something funnier. But anyway, we'll just bring up one just for shits and giggles. I'm sure you've seen Dame Edna. Say that again. Seem Dame Edna. Damn, that's really ridiculously hard to say. Dame Edna is this character here.
Being here now, it's very relaxing. I'm just going to put my feet up and have a little therapy with my in-house shrink.
Absolutely a brilliant character. And he also, the same guy plays another sort of, just the scummiest, sleaziest, slimiest Australian night. And I totally fucked up this joke just by totally building, but he was basically talking about gender fluidity.
Mm-hmm.
He said, he said, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the gender fluid is. I just kind of have a little gender fluid on me yesterday, and
nice.
Pretty much that's it. It's this gender fluidity shit. What are you? What I mean, we've seen these videos, and it's like remember 3 years ago, it was multiple personality was the big thing.
Yeah, I vaguely remember
TikTok, that. Everybody on TikTok had
they have mental illness before. Yeah, you're right.
I have 23 identities, and and now it's like, in the morning I feel masculine, in the afternoon I'm queer, in the evening I'm.
They all have to. So this is what's happening. I'm glad Better Bachelor did a video on this, and he talked about people needing to stand out, right? Because similar to what you said, there's been no fucking conflict. There's been nothing that's happened in the world, or at least in America in particular, but like in the West. And so to stand out, people started going more and more extreme, right? And he started showing, talking about TikTok videos and people kind of doing the most. And then he brought up that topic of what happened on that cruise ship, right? The dude who jumped off into the shark-infested waters. Now, I love natural selection, so fuck that dude. He deserved to die. See, because I don't like when people try to do like this. It was such a tragedy. Hold on. If someone asked you, Jeff, what is the most easily averted loss of life you've ever seen in your whole life? It's got to be a guy who goes like this. I'm going to jump off a cruise ship into shark-infested waters. What, to impress girls and to for what, right?
Yeah.
You see, look, one advantage of being black is that you can't swim. So you're not jumping into fucking shark-infested waters. Now you can get deleted doing dumb shit in other ways.
Yeah.
Right? But at least you can like scratch that one off, right? Like, well, at least we ain't gonna get you don't see black people dying in any event that involves water. Like there was this horrible wave that there are no black victims. Of course not. There's water. When water is involved, black people live. You see what I'm saying? And so this dude decides to jump off a fucking boat. And all he had on was like little swim trunks, right? And you heard people like laughing and they think it's so funny, so cool. There's the buoy. Next thing you know, though, Jeff, hey man, I'll swim back. Uh-oh. Sharks.
Oops.
Yeah, fam. You're deleted, right? And then the Coast Guard searched for him for like 5 days. Like, what the fuck are you searching for? Right? See, this is yet another problem. Why do we always use resources on people who choose to basically ruin their lives in myriad ways? You see what I'm saying? Like,
I'm totally with you.
You know what I'm saying, right? Like watch this. Yeet the Teat. You remember that doctor? Remember the Yeet the Teat lady? And she had these girls coming in, getting their boobs cut off, right? And all this shit. But then when these people have shout out to Crest for telling me about this. In Canada, there's a national detransition day, right? Now,
nice. Okay.
Jeff, who do you think regrets getting all hacked to bits more? Do you think it's the dude or the chicks?
I would think it would be the dudes.
It's the females.
Really?
Guess what happens when you're a female and you try to masquerade as a dude? Oh shit! I have no privilege anymore.
Oh well, yeah. What's her face? That
Nora Vincent.
Herself. Yeah,
Nora Vincent. Yep.
What was the name of her book?
I don't know the name of her book. If someone can help me out, but
yeah, for those of you that don't know, it's basically a woman. She was a trans male, and then she found out nobody's opening doors for her. Nobody's.
No, she was a regular lesbian. She wasn't even trans. Nora Vincent. The reason why feminists are quiet on her. She was a true feminist, right? I'm talking. She drank every drop of the feminist Kool-Aid, right? So she said she was a lesbian, more masculine, feminist, right? And she said she's gonna, she believed that male privilege was a thing, blah 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 blah. So then she went undercover as a dude. So she didn't actually get any, hormones. She had a vocal therapist get the voice right, and she went as Ned. That was her male identity, right? To prove all this male privilege, how easy it is. And she never psychologically recovered after seeing how bad it is to be a dude.
Yeah, like I said, nobody was opening doors. Nobody was complimenting. Nobody was smiling. Nobody was buying gifts. She had to buy her own drinks. Had to open her own damn doors. And nobody. She was a ghost.
Ghost. The other part. She talked about when she went to talk to the guys in that male group therapy session. She talked about the enormous pressure that is on men to produce and provide every fucking day, right? There's enormous pressure. Think about it. You could get hurt as a man. Oh shit, serious injury. They kind of look at you like, well, we kind of need you to die now, right? Even though you've given up so much. You see this, if you ever talk to military personnel, they'll tell you this, right? The reason why single moms get more resources from the government than the military, Jeff, they need you to fucking die. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're a soldier, you are a fucking pawn. You go out there, you fight for the country. You think you're all G.I. Joe, gung-ho. Shout out to TFM for saying it. All America and the UN pushes all of these NATO organizations. They're all fronts for the deep state. They only push two things: butt fucking and feminism, right? So when you die, or my bad, when you get injured, they're like this. Well, now we can't have you push more of what we want. You saw this in the Middle East when Biden bumbled the troops getting out, right? Remember, feminism started taking hold there, right? What happened as soon as the U.S. pulled out, Jeff? What happened to the women there who were feminists?
It was actually worse than before we got there.
And then what happens? The moment the U.S. is gone, and now the Taliban takes over, what happened?
They're
Feminism's
dead.
gone.
The feminism's gone. The feminists disappeared.
And the feminists are gone overnight. See, feminism only can thrive and exist when there's what, Jeff?
Democracy.
There is a comfortable society with democracy.
Okay.
So you have to have simps enforce whatever women are saying they want. That's how feminism gets stronger and stronger.
Well, and I mean, the brainwashing it's been going on since 1930s when
Agreed.
it was get the women into the workforce.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, well, we're supposed to take over the workforce. We need to. Why are women in the workforce in the first place? It was government propaganda to get more taxable income.
That's it. No other reason. Now, here's the thing, though.
You got half the population sitting on their ass, not making money.
Yeah, not producing for us.
Let's get them making money and tax them for it. That's it.
But in doing so, this is what's crazy. In doing so, because like people I used to hear that expression that women were oversized children. I truly believe children are smarter than women. I truly believe that. I started to really think about this, right? Okay, and I can prove it. Think about how walking up to a kid and trying to give them some form of propaganda that is directly going to harm them, right? Would you agree that most kids would be like, why the fuck would I do that? Right? Like, hey, hate your parents. Why? They wouldn't do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you walk up to kids right now. Let me walk up to Rakata's kids and be like, hey, get all 5 of them, corral them around, and say, your mom and dad are evil. Nick and Lady Rackets are evil. You need to go ahead and report them to, you see that guy right there? He's called CPS. Report him, and you're going to go to this nice place. And they're going to look at me like, are you insane? You see what I'm saying? But guess what? When the government went to women and said, kick the man out, do this, lie on him, they went like this. You sure? Wait, what? Wait a minute. Government entities came to you and told you to kneecap your man, right? Your husbands, your brothers, your sons, your fathers. And you just went, yep, let's do it. You didn't think twice. Jeff, let's fast forward. You talked about the 1930s. We're almost 100 years later, right?
Yeah.
We're damn near at 2030. Let's see what women have created in society. Beta male savages who are out here doing the most with crime, right? Horrific crimes against men, women, and children. Let's see, the school system, the public school indoctrination now has kids out here getting their genitals hacked up, and they got drag queen story hour. Do you ever notice who's at those drag queen story hours? Do you see a bunch of men who look like us?
Oh, no.
Who do you see? Who's
they're the ones outside that are getting arrested for trying to prevent people from
trying
going
to stop
in.
it. So
yeah.
And they cheer when guys get arrested. So let's talk about who is at drag queen story hour. And was it the strip shows, right? The dance shows. It's women. And who else is there? The beta cucks who enable going like this. Seal clapping.
I wish I could argue with you on that, but I can't.
But notice who did they not come to? The serpent never comes to the dude. You know why, Jeff? If the serpent comes to you and says, psst, Jeff, kick the ladies of your life out and we'll give you this. No. Immediately. Name it. Seriously. Yeah. You and I both know the government did not come to black men and say, kick the black woman out of the house and we'll give you free shit. No. They go to the women to do that because they know men have honor and integrity. Children even have honor and integrity. There's one group who doesn't. We care so much about the kids, Drex. Do women march harder for abortion or for parental rights for fathers? Who do they march for, Jeff?
But now you I think that, and again, I mean, people, of course, in chat freak out when you say women.
The majority, the vast majority.
It's a generalization.
It is. Are there women who don't march for abortion?
I would disagree.
Absolutely.
I would disagree that it's a majority. It's it's the vocal minority.
I strongly disagree.
Really?
You know why?
Why is that? Why is that?
You've been divorced, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, and I know, every woman prior to divorce, what do they say about women who take their man through the legal ringer? You know what they always say? I would never be like that. I can't believe those women. Would you agree with that? Like, women in general say any woman who uses the system and uses the kids as pawns, that's so horrible. Would you agree with that? In general, women say that
you're making me argue and say men do that too. Anybody that uses your child as a pawn or a weapon is an evil scumbag, regardless.
Well, absolutely, but here's the thing: it's not so easy for a man to use a kid as a pawn. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, not in the court system.
We're saying in the court. We're just talking about court. In the court. So this is the reason why I
men are fucked. Fucked.
Women will say women who do that are terrible. Okay, so let's use the logic. It's the vocal minority of women who want the family court system to exist and be 100% misandric, right? It's vocal minority.
Yeah.
If that were true, how does it still exist? So men have told you how horrible it is. Women have grown up as girls and saw men get destroyed. And did they go, we need to change this? Of course not. Do you know why, Jeff? Because they want to make sure that same system is there to use if and when they need it, right? See, that's the difference. Men, this is what's crazy about men. Men are so sacrificial. They actually believed women at face value and that all these guys were beating down their moms and their grandmothers and they were just running off after saying they were getting a pack of cigarettes. And then you fast forward and you start looking. These kids are in worse shape now than they've ever been. But who's been leading the household for the last 60 years?
But again, I think this is a little bit of pushback. I think this is our one area of disagreement, because the women that aren't doing this, they're the traditional ones that are staying home, that are fighting to keep the relationships together, that are working on building the family. They don't need to be in the courts. They're trying to do their part as in the traditional values, the traditional home situation. It's the ones that buy into what you're talking about. That, I mean, we know it's women that file for divorce by and large.
Yep. Roughly 80%.
I mean, the man has the, again, generalizing, has the responsibility, and it's inbred in us. We are fixers and providers. That's what men are. And we also know we're going to get fucked in the courts.
Always.
We want to keep it together. But it's the ones that don't. They're the vocal ones. They're the loud ones. They're the ones that propagate this. Because again, the ones that are trying to keep the family together, they're out of that loop.
I can see that. There are this is actually true of like people in general. Okay, the people who are busy working or doing whatever it is they do, whether it's in the home or outside the home, right? They're so busy doing it. And this is actually a flaw. This is a flaw that both sides have, men and women. If the men spend too much time working and trying to build society and maintain society, and the women, the good ones, the good women, are spending their time raising children, this is where the problem comes in on both sides. You can't ignore the cultural zeitgeist shifting. You see what I'm saying? If you start seeing something, you can't go like this. You've seen, and I've seen guys do this and women do this. I don't want to worry about it, or that doesn't affect me. I don't care. That's weird. They want to shield it off, right? Instead of going, you do know that's going to come for you eventually, right? You see that looming threat over there that's affecting these people, right? It will eventually come to you. But when it happens, they go like this. And I've seen this. A lot of dudes don't even know what the family court system is like. You know why? Because they're so busy working, right? So if a guy stands up and says, hey, man, these are the dangers of it. That guy's just talking. Let me get back to work. And when the men say that to women, they go, hey, ladies, only you can fix this because you have the voting power. Why is he talking about that? He must just be bitter. No, he's not bitter. Something's horribly wrong. So then let's fast forward, Jeff. The kids who have grown up through generations now and have seen this. This is where we're at now. The marriage rate is the lowest it's been since it was first recorded in the 1800s, right? Marriage is done. Okay, let's dating. When you ask women,
because open relationships, we don't need that.
Open relationship. Who pushes for open relationships, Jeff? Men or women? Who pushes for that?
Women.
Of course, because women have more options than men. Your average dude is completely fucking invisible, right? And this is the reason why, one thing about the manosphere they always get wrong, they talk about sexual marketplace value, right? SMV. These guys are dead wrong. What they haven't been able to differentiate is there's a difference between SMV, sexual marketplace value, and RMV, relationship market value. So I'll explain. Average looking dude. Let's use Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is a 10 out of 10 in RMV. See? If you're into a relationship, if you're a woman and you enter a relationship with Jeff Bezos, your life is made, right?
Yeah.
But if you went
even if it ends horrifically,
no matter how it ends, you win, right? Now watch this though. Jeff Bezos, SMV. If people walk into a swing club,
it's probably a solid 5.
He's not even that. Jeff Bezos is a no.
Well,
Jeff
he's
Bezos.
tall, he's thin, he's fit.
He's a 3 or 4. Let me explain why I say that.
I might go down to a 4. I don't think he's a 3, but all right, go
if
ahead.
he walks into a swing club.
Why are we rating men, for fuck's sakes? What have you got me into?
I know, right? But see, the guys need to know this,
Yeah.
and here's why. If you walk into a swing club or go onto a dating app, right? In that, check away so now you remove the money aspect of it, right? You're there just on sex. Now it's about your SMV. Women women want to smash Jeff Bezos because of money, but once that's off the table, because he's with Dirty Sanchez, they go, uh-oh, why can't Jeff just walk up to girls and get girls at a swing club? There's a reason, Jeff. Because there's never been a woman in history who has pictures of men who look like Jeff Bezos on their wall. You see what I'm saying? He has no SMV. He's not he's not sexually arousing. Andrew showed me the picture of them on his $500 million super yacht. And he goes, hey, he says, Drex, did you see the full picture? I said, no. He goes, it's been cropped. He zooms out. You see Lauren Sanchez on the boat like this, right? Do you know who she's taking a picture of? Her ex-boyfriend, Tony Gonzalez, tied in. Right? Now, Tony Gonzalez has more SMV than Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos has more RMV, right? Yeah. If you get with a man who has, $500 billion, yes, he's more attractive, but he's not more arousing. Zuckerberg is he's more attractive than me, right? And if a woman gets with Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, yes, that is a more advantageous situation to be in. So they are more attractive. But when it comes to arousing, no woman gets wet over Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Mark.
Oh no, they're just hoping to be the lucky one that's still there when he goes.
Still there when he croaks, right? That's
it.
That's what I mean when I say that. See, some people, Drex is crazy until you think about it. It's like, yeah, dude, a lot of high earning dudes. This is how cuck relationships work, Jeff.
Well, I mean, you think the 29-year-old super hot chick that's getting with Robert De Niro,
Al Pacino.
or Al Pacino. Yep. Yeah, he's got the new one. He's all liver spotted and
looking terrible.
Yeah,
they aren't with them because they find him attractive, like sexy. They're like,
and he's
I need those
83.
83.
I can't. I mean, I hope to God I can still satisfy women naturally without the blue pill when I'm 83. But wouldn't be holding out for being able to pleasure a 29-year-old woman to satisfaction.
But guess what happens? When
they're just hoping to be there.
Like Trump with Melania. Everyone in New York knows Melania has a boyfriend in New York. Everybody knows that.
Well, why wouldn't she?
So what ends up happening is, once again, Donald Trump is not. He's not arousing to him. Women don't look at Donald Trump and think, "Oh my God, yeah." No, because if it wasn't for the status and the money, women wouldn't want anything to do with him. So what you're starting to realize now is this is how open relationships are going to work in the future. Most guys who make any kind of money, right? You make 6 figures, congrats, you did it. However, in order for you to get laid, you have to trick. You have to pay. We're saying the average guy, right? The average guy goes like this. Oh, hey, baby, let me buy you drinks. Let me take you out. He has to invest, right?
Right.
But a dude who has high SMV, this is where people get it confused. A guy with high SMV, these are when people talk about, the Chads, the Tyrones, the Pookies and Ray Rays. This is no bullshit, Jeff. Jeremy Meeks, he's the prisoner, right? Remember the inmate who went viral? He has high SMV. He can just walk in and bitches will go, oh my God, they throw money at him.
Just get the mops. Yeah, you got to break out the mops.
See, so when you explain this to dudes like this, show a picture of Jeff Bezos and see if women want him. If they go, do you know who this is? They go, no. They go, you want to fuck him? They're like, no. But Jeremy Meeks, he's in a damn jumpsuit with an inmate number, and they would still get with him. They don't care. He fulfills sexual needs, and guys need to know this going forward because relationships going forward. I mean, Jeff, let me ask you this: You're in Korea. You talked about the Russian you dealt with because I actually just had a conversation last week with Becca the ass wrecker, right? I was talking to Danielle about this.
Yeah.
This is how bad it's gotten. Becca the ass wrecker is tired of wrecking asses now. Now she's ready for a relationship. She wants more than hookup culture. I was like, no. That's over, honey. That's over.
That's a perfect segue. Hold that thought. Remind me.
Give me 1 second about take a link real quick.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, we'll go through all of this. And hey, chat, don't let me forget to have him remind me to talk about Becca the ass wrecker when he returns. What have we gotten ourselves into? We love DREX. Fair Frozen 55. Thank you so much for the super chat. Jeff, living the American dream all day. Work for the man and already earning what my old man earned at the end of 30 years plus college professor career. Single with no student loans, getting healthy. Life is good. That's true. I mean, my father could only dream of making what I'm making. But you also have the inflation to deal with, because it costs pretty much the same, if not more, to live than it did for our parents to live. I mean, I remember, like I said, I've talked about this before. I didn't know we were poor until I got older. It was about 35, 40 when I realized that we were kind of poor growing up because everybody around us was the same. But my parents bought their house in 1976, the last house they lived in. They were paying $120 a month for the mortgage. I mean, good Lord, you can't, I mean, that's just utterly incomprehensible. My mortgage is 10 times that for probably a quarter of the house that they have. But, you know, it's comfort. And that's one thing I want to talk to about DREX when he gets back is success versus satisfaction. Because I think too often people get stuck with this idea that, success means smashing chicks, smashing dudes. Success means, people wanting to be around you, people worshiping you. You get it, your physical pleasures satisfied. That's satisfaction. It's success is something completely different. So I'm going to hold on to this and hopefully try to remember it after we talk about Becca, the ass recca. An unhung hero. What percentage of men in prison are the product of single mothers? I would, again, without having the statistics and just pulling numbers out of my ass, including the fact that 93.7% of all statistics are made up, I would guess the vast majority. The vast majority, I would guess, prisoners are products of single mothers.
Oh, I think it's 80. I think it's 83%, something like that. There's a direct correlation. And you know what I love about that whole issue? Conservatives always bring up the crime stats, right? The 13/50. And yet, when you go to prison, there's a direct correlation between single mothers and inmates, regardless of color. Direct correlation. Whoever has the most single mothers in their culture, the only exception would be Native Americans, who actually have it far worse than blacks. There's just significantly fewer of them. That's why, and they don't get the same press because they aren't out in the streets like blacks are. Everything black people do, they have to be very vocal about and very operatic and seen, for better and for worse.
That's the old Chris Rock thing, isn't it? Well, I take care of my children.
Yeah.
What do you want, a cookie?
What are you supposed to be doing? Like, but everything black people do. Like I said though. Now, Jeff. So when I say for better and for worse, right?
Yeah.
Anything a black people in general take and run with becomes trendy. You see what I'm saying? So like passport bros. White guys were passport bros long before black guys were. By far. White guys were always passport bros. You just didn't really hear about it.
You just like call it that.
White people are out there, have been doing drugs, committing all kinds of crimes, and they don't get busted. When black people commit crimes and do drugs, they are very open and vocal about it, right? Motherfucker, look, I got bricks. They're making videos with kilos of cocaine. And then they wonder why they get busted, right? They're always loud with it. And once now someone goes, well, DREX, what's the flip side of that? The flip side is this. When it comes to passport bros, they're going to be the same way, right? But then now that's because it's on social media and they're not doing something illegal. It's attracting people to it.
But see, that's my problem. Legal mindset, Andrew. I'm like, dude,
I know. It's
dude, don't ruin it. Don't bring them over here. Send them somewhere else.
Jeff, I got to ask you that question. Yeah. What do you think about the very nature of when it comes to obviously, like, passport bros and all that?
Yeah.
In terms of, do you think that too many guys are going to figure out, move over there, and then fuck it up for the guys who are like,
it's already happened on a substantial level. And then let's get through this. This all segues here, I promise.
Okay.
Flux says Bezos is a two guy. How would you know, Flux? And Becky
Flux
is a hoe name. It is. Becky is a hoe name. What do you think, Rebecca? Don't call me Becky, says Rebecca. All right, and let's go. Brandon says, I finally had the perfect El Presidente last night. Your recipe. Well, of course it was perfect. It was my recipe. And Del Frisco's with some Kobe beef, and then I blacked out and can barely move now. See, it was a great cocktail. Now, the two things we talked about, one while you were gone, this sort of segues us back into it. Paris Rivers Show says their obsession with money makes them ugly. I push back and I disagree with that. Everything is transactional. Everything is transactional. Everything.
Wait, when she says them, though, when she says they are assessment. Who's the they?
The women, the women that are going after.
Oh,
after
yeah.
Soros
Yes.
And the Rupert Murdochs and things. It's what we were talking about here with Fair Frozen saying that he's already earning what his father was earning at the end of his career and no student loans and whatnot. The inflation's going up. The things are going up. And I think we're confusing success with satisfaction.
Yes.
And you look and see, the whole MiGTOwn thing, the whole, the Puas and all, the pickup artists and all the game players, they've got it wrong. I think they've got it wrong. I mean, when you're 25, 26, 27, that's what life is. You have no real life responsibilities. You just, let's go out and smash each other's brains out. So fine, go ahead, pick up stuff. But there's that point when you want to take that next step, or when Becky the ass wrecker wants to take the next step, and you want to get out of that cycle, and you want to put what you have learned in just picking up people for one night stands and bar hopping and all this. You want to put that to use to get you your quality mate. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think that we measure. I'm not successful because I haven't smashed someone in this long. I'm not successful because I haven't done this. To me, I'm successful, but I'm not satisfied. Mm-hmm. I'm successful. I have a hell of a good job. I got a nice house. I can pretty much function. But you look at the other people. I don't want to be Jeff Bezos. I don't want to be Zuckerberg. I'm successful. Satisfied. It's a cliche, but when you're through changing, you're through kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. Always be just looking for that one next step the next day. Look for that one step better than you are. That's where we fall apart. Don't be satisfied, but accept that you're successful in what you do and get yourself to a successful place. Like we were talking about, I had a friend that he retired at 32, and he didn't have that much money, but he went to Guatemala. And he was saying you can live like a damn king for $35 a month.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Guess what?
What?
When Nick and I do shows, and Nick refers to our buddy M, right?
Mm-hmm.
My childhood best friend. And when his father passed of cancer back in I believe it was 97 or 98, when that happened and his mother remarried years later, the guy she married worked for Coca-Cola, right?
Oh,
and then retired from Coca-Cola. He's Guatemalan. And I'm going to actually go out there. I'm actually going to finally fly out there and hang out with him. And I'm, of course, send pictures and videos, on social media, right? So people know. Do you know what he told me? He said, Drex, he said exactly what you just said. He goes, he has a mansion out there, right? Literal, a mansion. He said,
yeah,
Drex, I'm out here on four-wheelers. He goes, I live like a king. He goes, in Guatemala, he goes, Drex, you have to come to Guatemala. He goes, this is, you can make an argument, given he's from there, so he's not technically a passport, bro. You know what I mean? But the basic tenet is still there. If you get your resource, this is what the American dream should be now for men. For men, America's where you get the resources. Mm-hmm. But then if you stay too long, it'll become a nightmare, right? The social construct, the dating scene, the marriage laws, blah, blah. So what you do is you take the resources from America and you segue that shit to somewhere like Guatemala. You see what I'm saying? That's the American dream now. The American dream is not to have a family in America. That to me is a pipe dream now. That's because one of the main tenets of being a passport, bro, is that if you want dating and relationships and children and marriage, I would argue, Jeff, at this point, you have to go overseas. I can't in good conscience tell someone in America, a man in America, to marry an American woman. I can't do it. Not with these laws. Absolutely not. That's insanity.
You're not wrong.
Think about it. Remember, no fault divorce, right? At any point, it can flip. Yeah. Any point. Just she wakes up one day and goes, I'm not happy. I want to get ran through by random dudes. I want to post on social media. You're like, wait a minute, this is what we talked about. I want the kids to be a different gender. You have no leverage. It's over. Mm-hmm. So because of that, you have to go somewhere. Is that Thailand or the Philippines where divorce is actually illegal? Is that
Philippines, Catholic country? Yeah.
Yes, it's illegal to get a fucking divorce. So if you're in a country where That's the standard. And guess what? The women are more feminine because why? Because the men are providers and protectors. Therefore, they're not sitting in the fucking workforce the way the women here are trying to be boss babes, right? I can't in good conscience tell Jeff, I mean this. I can't tell one man in this country to get married. I believe it's the worst choice you can ever make in America.
I will never get married again.
Absolutely. I get it.
Partnerships, I have no problem committing to someone, living together with them, and do that.
Same.
But the second you put your name on that line, the government is now up your ass and in your the government dictates your relationship.
I believe everyone who's in a marriage in the West is in an open relationship, whether they know it or not, because you have a third party has entered the chat, right, Jeff?
Yep.
You're a woman in the fucking government. Hey, guess what? The government, do they care about those kids, Jeff? No. They care about you? Fuck no.
No.
Actually, this is the thing that women don't know. Ladies, I'm going to blow your mind. They don't care about you either. You just think they do. They're using you to destroy the family to get what, Jeff? More control and the resources for themselves. They don't give a fuck about women.
Yep.
Women kill me with this shit.
I don't care about anything.
They don't care about anything.
It's the money.
Power.
Yeah.
Money and power. That's it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Oh, Jeff.
Nicholas Starrow Trial Watch. 1 hour behind. Well, catch up, Nicholas. It's always fun to hold a lecture in labor law to those who gave me side looks when they saw me in the corridor thinking I was the janitor. And Billy Aoki says, were African slaves the original passport, bro? No.
Damn.
No.
God damn.
No. That would be the Portuguese who were buying and selling people across the world for 500 years before people told them to stop. Hell, we've crossed a threshold here with we have to introduce our next guest. It's dog cam time. That's our.
Oh, look at that.
We just that's what we do at a certain point. Let's see. That's Strawberry. Strawberry is just like snoring that way, and then we got Yoda over here. We'll check out Yoda here for a minute.
Look at that.
Lumps, just little dog lumps. There we go. We hit dog cam goal. There we go. Hope you don't mind our new guests here. They kind of keep people focused.
It's great that I'm not really used to seeing. I didn't grow up with pets, but I was never used to seeing dogs sleep because they were always like, if they hear one sound, they just get up. Or humans don't, right? Like if you're passed out, you don't hear like one little ding. You just that's
the beauty of English Bulldog. This is pretty much what they do 23 hours and 58 minutes a day.
Damn.
You just kind of lay here like little lumps. But gosh, it's a thing. We were talking about. We have to get back to Becca the ass wrecker here. I mean, we have to backtrack a little bit. I think the passport bro thing is starting, at least here in the lower tiers of the first world countries. I mean, 30 years ago, Korea is a much different Korea than it is today. Back in the day, you could get a girl from a bar that would come home with you and stay the entire night with you, clean your house and cook your breakfast for $50 a night. Now you can't. If they won't go home with you because they don't need to. Because at some point I remember like the drinks you would buy the hookers, the bar girls, were like $5 a glass. It was like orange juice that had just enough like vodka in it to where you could probably taste there might be a hint of alcohol in it. But then one day they decided to charge $10. Yep. And the locals were like, come on. Why are they charging $10? Because the U.S. military comes in.
That's right.
They get the Navy ships. The Navy ships come in. These guys have been sitting on a boat earning nothing but cash, no expenses for 4, 5, 6 months at a time. They don't give a shit to pay the $20 a drink. Little Mama San's asking for the girls. They leave, and then it's still $10 for the locals.
Yep.
And then they start going, well, wait a minute, we got 10. Maybe we can get 20. And now it's like $50 for a glass of orange juice at these bars. And I haven't gone to a girly bar in I don't know how long, but probably 12 years. Back when I was there, I was like, just out of curiosity. Because that was my first job in Korea. After I was a missionary, came back here. And while I was a student at Busan National University, I was a bouncer at one of the girly bars. And I went back and the guy was dead. His son was the owner. I'm like, what's the going rate? What's the going rate? If I wanted to take one of these girls home for the night, what would be the going rate? And they used to all be Koreans, and they were Russians. Now they're Filipino mostly, with some Russians scattered in. And he was saying it's $450 a night, but these girls won't go with you. These girls don't need to go with you. If you want to go with someone, they'll bring in someone off the street to go home with you for $450 a night. And of course, I'm thinking for $450, you better be able to do some freaky shit that I can't even imagine. And I can imagine a hell of a lot, and ain't none of it worth $450.
Wait,
that's the
$450 US dollars.
That's the bottom going rate to take a girl home from a bar.
First of all, let me tell you,
you can go to the Scrub and Tugs for like 150, 200 if they'll take the dirty 400.
Well, here's the problem though. The simp, the simp economy, right? The simp economy is what creates this. Like you said, okay, you remember we were talking earlier about being responsible to the environment, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, Jeff, we need electricity for this. However, let's not try to have everything in the world be all electric, right? Because you have to have a balance. America went for cheaper. It kind of works the same way in the environment on a social level. I tell them, look, I get where the Navy guys are coming from, right? Because it's hard to convince someone who's been sitting on a boat around in a sausage fest that girls are available saying, hey, we're here and we're cheap, not to do it, right? So I understand that. However, you have to have a balance to be like, yo, bro, because if you guys keep doing this, whole inflation is going to go up. And then what happens? It's going to collapse the marketplace. And now, Jeff, first of all, I ain't giving these bitches shit. And this is the thing. When I go places, I explain this to guys in my Discord. I said, dude, when I travel, the last thing on my mind is females. My pictures, when I travel, Jeff, do you know what my pictures are of? They're never me. It's the world I'm looking at, right?
Yeah.
I love the things I'm seeing, eating, doing.
I'm
men in general, we don't take
exactly with you there.
Yeah,
I hate when I'm taking pictures and someone goes, "Do you want me to take a picture?" No, I don't know what the fuck I look like.
Yeah. No one needs to fucking see me.
Yeah.
I got a picture of Pablo Escobar's bombed out firebomb mansion when I was in one of his mansions when I was in Colombia, right? I go to all these places, eat all this different food. I take pictures of all of it, right? And I start talking about the cost, right? When you are in the Philippines and you can eat street food for $2, right?
Yeah.
I want people to see what $2 gets you to eat, because remember, I want an American or any Westerner. What does it cost to have a place, right? This is what it costs to have a place. This is the food you're going to eat. These are the clothes. You can get tailored suits for dirt cheap. As I go, remember, notice, Jeff, everything I talk about is life and lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
You have never heard me say, I don't know what the going rate of any streetwalker is, because I've never bought one. Never, my whole fucking life. And here's the thing, I'm not knocking the guys that do, because at the end of the day, they're still cheaper than the free girls.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that in a second. That goes to the all transactional. And that's an interesting thing, because Korea, Seoul or Busan, especially Seoul. Seoul is always ranked up in the top few most expensive cities to live in the world. But it can also be one of the cheapest places. It's how do you want to live? Sure, you can go to to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. You can go to a 3-star Michelin restaurant, or pay $200, $300, $400 for a little piece of steak like that. Or you can go down to the open market, the traditional open air market, and you can eat yourself fucking sick for $8. I mean, like you wouldn't have to eat for another day.
I talked to my dad about this, because my dad loves traveling, and we've had this discussion. So my mom, I mean, don't get me wrong, she's not going to spend crazy money, but she will eat, at these like fancier joints. Yeah. My dad and I are the guys, we like being in the trenches. We're trench guys, right? We like to go to street food trucks. That's our thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me, and I'm sure you're the same way. If the food is amazing and it's cheap, let's say the food at the markets, or let's say 8 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
And let's say whatever's at that crazy, Michelin restaurant is a 10 out of 10, right? But the cost is $300. If this costs me $8 and it's an 8 out of 10, I'll check that all day over a 10 out of 10. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because the compromise, don't get me wrong. And I truly believe this. Even if I were a fucking billionaire, I can't see myself eating $400 meals. Like you said, a little piece of meat that looks like a damn coin, right? It's like, okay, and like, I'm still hungry. You know the funny thing is, though, when you eat at places like that, you wind up going to the street food afterwards, right? Because you're still hungry.
Exactly.
You leave there, and I had this happen. This is no bullshit. years ago when I was with my daughter's mom. We went to one of those hibachi grills, right? Like, you know, the Benihana bullshit.
Yeah.
So we go there, we get the food, we eat, you know, they do all of the crazy stuff in the flames. I will never forget this, Jeff. I finished, looked at her, and I was like, I'm still hungry. I went straight to Cracker Barrel and got a to-go box. Fucking Cracker. This is after I just paid them all that money.
Yeah.
I just paid them, you know, because you remember how much those things are like, what? For two, it's like 70, 80 bucks to just, you had like 5 ounces of food, right? And I'm sitting there like, I'm a big dude. I'm like, I'm fucking hungry. I will never forget this. I went straight to Cracker Barrel, got a home-style chicken meal, which is 2 big fried breasts of chicken. Back then, I think it was 3 side orders, cornbread, and a biscuit for like $11. I think you goddamn right. So why would I pay you guys all this money?
Yeah, so I mean, is that level of do you want to live like a king? Korea is not the place. You want to live comfortably and eat some just good food and have a good time. It very well can be. And when I go traveling, when I go places, I'm exactly like you. I go somewhere and I go, I don't want to go where everybody else goes. Where do you go? Where do you take me where you eat?
No, when anytime I travel, that's my thing. I always ask, you know, what do you eat? Like when you want something good and you know, usually fast, you know, let's face it, usually, you know, you want something that's, you know, you don't want to have to sit down for every meal and take, you know, an hour to eat. So it's like, no, when you want something quality you can kind of eat on the go, where do you go? And they'll always tell you, oh yeah, this, you know, if you're in the mood for this, I would suggest this place. And you go and try it. This is fucking amazing.
Best food I ever had best food I've ever put in my mouth on planet Earth was this place in Shanghai. And I was hanging out with this girl the first time I went to Shanghai. And she's like, oh, I could take you here. I said, no, I just take me to the very best place you've ever eaten lunch. And we walked through like the old section of Shanghai. We walked through the different quarters, and we just walked down some random neighborhood into some random apartment building up to a random 4th or 5th floor, knocked on the door. They opened it up. There's 3 tables with a bunch of ancient old Chinese dudes. Sat down, and it was this fish that was essentially boiled in a giant pan of oil with a bunch of chili peppers and cilantro and herbs. And it was honestly the best food I've ever had in my life. Damn. And this fish was this big, and I think it was about $2.25. It was like $2.50.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh.
And you know, it's like, well, people here, you know, we have Spot the saying, isn't Korea expensive as fuck? It can be.
Yeah. So you can say that, you know, honestly, you can say that about Vegas too, right? Vegas can be expensive or it can be cheap.
Oh yeah, that's, you know, and you want a little bit of both. You want to have the good food, but then you go North Vegas off to the left side of the strip, you get where all the casino workers, you get some of the greatest taco places, the Mexicans where they're serving the pig brain tacos with a gigantic bushel barrel of jalapenos outside. You're like, this is just fucking good.
Dude, man, oh God, man, well, you know, it's funny you say that because you know my parents live out in Vegas.
Yeah,
and baby mama just texted me. I think it was yesterday, the day before, saying that my daughter wants to go visit grandma, which of course means she wants to go to Vegas.
Yeah,
and it's like, Vegas trip, and I always start thinking about food. The moment I think about Vegas, I think about, damn, it's gonna be fucking hot. I'm gonna eat. I'm really gonna.
See, I have regrets though, because every time I think about going to Vegas. Really, the $5 buffets with the free drinks.
I know, dude. In the night, for those of you who don't know, in the 90s, Vegas was like this is world famous. You remember this, and you saw this is when I mean, there still are a huge influx of Asians, but back then it was. You remember this, Jeff? Plane loads of just Asians, and they came there, and they had never seen this shit. What do you mean a $5 buffet? And people pigged out, man. You remember that shit, Jeff? In the 90s?
Oh yeah,
the douches from.
Oh God, you run over
California came through.
Man,
it was a glorious time, man. A lot of people don't remember this though, and like I said, Vegas is becoming like a California 2.0 because there's too many transplants, which they need to get them out. And
again, it's when you start regulating things, it goes to shit.
Yep.
The heyday for Vegas, I remember going there first in about 75, 76 till about 92. And that's when it was run by the mob. They didn't put up with shit. They didn't put up with homeless. They didn't put up with the buskers on the street. They didn't put up with this. It was clean. It was orderly. It was organized, and it was safe. Vegas is quickly becoming a shithole.
You know, this is the craziest thing about Vegas. Vegas was safer when it was ruled by the mob.
Absolutely.
Is that like, listen, like, let that sink into your head, guys. Vegas was safer, cheaper, and more fun when the mob controlled it. If you let that thought sink in, you start to realize how bad the government is and why the government doesn't want the mob. That's why. You felt, Jeff, I guarantee you felt safer back then, right? When you walk down the street, you're
absolutely.
like, oh, nothing's gonna happen. Now you've heard look, knife attacks on showgirls. Dude, they have some crazy whacked out people in Vegas now. You have to look when I'm out there. Don't get me wrong, I feel safe in a general sense. Like, nothing, in general. However, I still kind of, you got to keep your wits about you, right? Back in the day, I remember I went to Vegas for the first time in 1993. I was 11. And to put this in perspective, you guys, I was walking the strip alone at night with the guys handing out the little porn cards, right? Click, 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 click. Remember those guys? The little, 1-800, I'll meet you in your room.
Yeah,
I was walking the strip
give
alone.
You the business cards, advertising on top of taxis.
Advertising. I should say alone. I was with my brother. My brother's 3 years older. But it's like, still, you're talking about a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old who walked the strip of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yep.
As young minors, no parents anywhere to be seen. We were out there. Like, I'm talking, my parents gave us money and was like, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. And we just bounced.
No, I mean, that's literally some of my earliest memories on planet Earth were in Vegas. And it was in Circus. You go up there, have your little, your Roy Rogers, and we're going to go do adult shit and we'll come back. I mean, they were literally leaving a 5-year-old child and a 9-year-old child to run around the upper level of Circus alone because you just knew you were going to stay there and you were going to be there when they came back.
It's funny you say that. The second and third time we went to Vegas. So in 1993 is when the MGM Grand was finally finished. This is after they had blown up Stardust and Dunes, I believe. You remember those old hotels?
The Stardust was so cool.
You remember that? Remember the Stardust?
Oh yeah, that's the very first casino I ever went in when I was 4 years old. I'll never forget it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like the Flamingo, the Stardust,
the Flamingo
Sands.
Hilton. Oh my god, dude.
Back when it was all on Fremont Street and shit.
Fremont, yep. The hood now. That's the hood now. For those of you who don't know.
Well, that was when I was in law school. My wife's brother came because he'd seen Showgirls, and he said we got to go to Vegas because I want to see where they made Showgirls. I'm like, yeah, you really don't.
Yeah, no, you don't.
I want to go see where they made Showgirls. I'm like, no, you really don't, because we were staying at the Excalibur. We did the
you were on the strip then. Yeah,
we did the medieval Pepsi drinking thing,
Yep.
But then it was like, he said, no, we have to go there. I'm like, all right. We drove to this stupid whatever the hell, I can't remember where the place was now, but it was off Broadway, and we pulled in there. There was all the biker gangs in the parking lot, the broken glass everywhere, the broken sign. I'm like, all right, we'll wait in the car. There it is. Go in.
He just had that face, right? Like,
yeah, we can go back to the hotel now. Like, thank you very much. And then we watched some show and some titty show at the Excalibur.
They had titty shows at Excalibur back then?
Well, I mean, the showgirl things where by the end you're going, why are they doing this without their tops on?
Oh yeah.
Those shows.
Yeah, we bumped into some things like that.
Yeah, like I'm trying to eat here. Why, get your feathers.
I
and your
don't
titties
need
out of
listen. Now, Jeff, I love titties, but I don't love titties all the time. Oh my.
Yeah. Hey, Jessica, what's up?
Jess, what up?
Jessica in the house.
The crazy thing about Vegas, though, is that, like you said, when you take away all of this regulation bullshit, the beauty of deregulation is that the attractions get what they're meant to get. Because in an open market, Jeff, this is what ends up happening. I went there in 1994, right? Because we always went back to Vegas. There was what was it? It was Circus had built the big pink dome, the Adventure Dome. Remember that thing? It's the indoor amusement park, right? And we were playing laser tag. We ended up meeting up with all these other kids, and we were in that fucker, Jeff. When I say all day, kind of what to your point, right? Do you remember when parents used to give you money and they dropped you off and they said, here, obviously have a quarter.
Dropped you off at the mall in front of the arcade.
And they said, call us when you're ready to go home. Jeff.
And then you made the stupid mistake of playing Dragon's Lair and you were done in like 5 minutes. You're like, I lost $20 in 5 minutes.
You're right. I'm out of money, Mom.
Yeah.
Well, back then we were there, Jeff. I'll never forget this. We were there for 13 hours. Our parents dropped us off. It was me, my brother, and M. Dropped us off. And remember, this is what separates Vegas from like going to like a lot of other places. Because you're in a casino, hotel casino, you can still like leave and start going, doing shit, and then like return to base. Yep. We were at this fucker all day. And so we finally called our parents. It was it was 11 something at night. And like my dad was kind of like, the whole day, like you guys are, like the hell were you guys doing? We played laser tag for hours. It was a blast because that was an era where you met kids. This is the beauty of life before the internet. You could bump into people and you just sort of struck up a conversation. So we had teams. So we were dominating so much. We had to start splitting up our own peeps to be on opposite teams because we were just dominating, right? And we were sitting there and we were just like, this is what life is supposed to be, right? Like my guy Bowser sent me a little screen grab. It's a video game meme where it shows a boy and a girl on the couch and he's playing. She goes, I can't wait till it's my turn. And then the next picture, it shows the boy and the girl, both with the controller, right? Like, this is so awesome. The next picture, it shows 4 friends, right? It's all of them, couch co-op. And it shows like a little, social activity level, how fun they're having. Then they go online and you see it plummet, right? Yep. And then at the very last one, I have to send it to you, Jeff. It shows like what happened to our society. The last picture, it's sad, man. It's the guy. He's older now, right? He's completely depressed watching someone else play the video game, right? Because that's what people do now, right? I'm gonna watch you play a video game. What the fuck? Like, you went from Jeff, we are playing in the same house on the same couch, having a blast, to I'm watching this guy stream the game.
But see, that's where it broke down when Microsoft, when Sony, when they went, wait a minute, these guys they're able to play together in the same room. We're only getting one membership fee from them.
Yep.
So now you can only have one person playing a game. So then you would have to get 2 consoles for the same house. And then they said, oh, no, we can't even share the same password. So now you have to have 2 people in their own home playing the same game together rather than sitting right next to each other on the couch.
Oh yeah, I just sent it to you. And I think this is like you can look at this as obviously like a video game thing, but like I think this shows the breakdown of all of society. This is what happens.
That's sad.
This is what happens. Seriously, we lose sight. We lose sight of human connection. You can share it if you want. It's an excellent, like I think it's a great breakdown of like how far we've fallen by not having that social interaction, by being like, hey Jeff, you want to go outside and ride bikes? We went from that to headsets. Yeah, bro, he's around that corner, man. Yeah, shoot him, watch out for the sniper. Fuck. Like there's no touching grass no more. There's no running around no more. There's no doing shit no more. Like, wow.
Let's see if we can do this. It's long, not like it's just,
that's
it's
the problem.
Long and thin. Let's see here. Let's see how it looks. Share screen. That's as big as it gets. I'll post it on my Twitter after we're done here.
Yeah. Oh,
that's too bad.
But I can actually read it. It says, so what it says is, it says the 1 player age. It says, let's switch off every level. And then it shows it says social fun meters on the right. And then the next thing, 2 player age. We can play at the same time. This is amazing. And then it goes down another one. The 4 player age. Now, Jeff, this is the peak social fun meter. Now it's all the kids and they're a little older. They're teenagers now. And they're all in the same house on the same couch. And it says, the more people you play video games with, the more fun it is. And then it says the online age. And the social fun meter cuts in half. And it says, wow, online multiplayer. I can play with all of my friends whenever I want without having to be in the same room as them. The next one, Jeff, it's like 10% fun. It says, well, at least I can always play and interact with thousands of others on a daily basis. Couldn't get any lonelier than this. Because that's what happened, right? Yeah. At first you were playing with your friends. Then you start playing with strangers. Yeah. Then at a 0%, it says the watch other stream gameplay age. And he's all disheveled and miserable.
And just sitting there.
It's true. And you know what though? And that has led to, I was talking to my girl out in Arizona, right? Special shout out to my girl, Sweet Tea. She hits me up and she says, Drex, there's this guy that my girlfriend is talking to. And, this fucker, pretended to be something he's not. All these guys, they gaslight, they lie.
Yeah.
And these fuckers, Jess Reloaded knows, I think my girl Kelly, I think she's in the chat, is that these guys
Kelly
don't wash their ass. Stank, motherfucker. Look, stank. We need to start addressing this, Jeff.
It's been addressed for decades. Come on.
No. You remember when you talked about the 29-year-old guy you tried to take under your wing and get right? Listen,
yes,
guys, I'm making a video on this, Jeff. I'm coming back to YouTube. Wash your ass. Why?
Dude,
how do you take a shower and you still stink? No. All honesty, ladies in the chat, have you ever bumped into a guy who took a shower and got out of the shower, but he still stunk?
Huh? Come on, Drex.
Come on. The fuck?
Drex, come on. You can't talk about that. It's already been talked about.
These dudes are so nasty, Jeff. Like, look, here's the thing.
Hygiene. That's the important factor. Hygiene. The toughest thing in the world, have to turn to your mate one night and say, you got to wash your ass.
Red Fox beat you to it by 40 years, my brother.
R.I.P. Red Fox, Sanford & Son legend.
Knowing how difficult it is, I said it for you in this album. You got to wash your ass.
Yep.
You folks up there with binoculars, don't be screaming from the audience, sir. This is not a Merv Griffin show. If you don't like the show, bend over. I'll drive you to Dallas. Get one. See, let me explain to you folks. You can let your armpits go a couple of days maybe, but not your ass. How could you tell someone, I love you, darling, knowing in your heart you haven't washed your ass? I'm not talking about your whole ass. I'm talking about your ass whole. You'd be surprised at pollution that can be found in an area the size of a dime, or a 50-cent piece, or a silver dollar. Now, you know your ass better than I do, but you got to wash it. Tell me, how could you turn around in bed with your loved one upside down to 69 and haven't washed your ass? To coin a phrase, when you 69ing, your ass ain't but 1 inch from your loved one's nose.
There it is. Oh my God. Yep.
1 inch. Don't do that to someone you love. Wash your ass. You lay there thinking no one knows. Shit, the nose knows. Another thing that can wreck your love life, and this is for you fellas. Men, stop wearing white shorts.
Yep.
You were saying, Drex?
No lies. Here's the thing. No lies. Jeff, this is the reason why I bring up that online era in video games and stuff, because I'll tell you what these dudes are doing. Yeah. The ladies are complaining to me that Drex, these dudes ain't shit. I know they ain't shit. I know they're lame. I know they're simps, because there's a lot of them. And you know what the main thing is? I hear a lot of ladies talk about hygiene. They say, Drex, these guys don't wash their ass. They stank. They don't know how to look. They got yuck mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Girl goes to kiss a dude. Let me tell you guys something right now. Do you smoke? If you say yes, okay, stop smoking. Do you chew tobacco? If you say yes, first of all, you're a loser. How the fuck do you chew tobacco? And there's like, if you chew tobacco, just don't kiss girls. You should be doing Brokeback Mountain routines. You see what I'm saying? Because
wait a minute.
I don't know any girl that wants to kiss a dude that has fucking a dip in his mouth. He's been chewing tobacco. That shit is not sexy. It's not cool. It's not masculine. Okay? It's fucking gross. And so, you know what ends up happening? These are the same guys that talk about some, oh, these bitches ain't shit. Oh, they be playing games. Did you wash your ass? The answer is no, right? You didn't wash your ass. See, Jeff, what you're starting to see, and this is what I was talking to my girl Sweet Tea about. I said, Sweet Tea, I was talking to Kelly, I was talking to Jeff. I said, these guys are fucking lame because this is what they do. They sit online for too long without social interaction. And do you know what happens when you sit? And I actually just had this conversation.
Swamp ass.
You get swamp ass. So let me give you guys some pointers. When a girl says, meet me at 7 p.m., we're going to go ahead and bump uglies. Cool. Do not sit there and be just playing video games. Watch this. Hey, Jeff, I got off work at 2 o'clock. I took a shower by 2:30, and then I started playing some video games online. Oh, man, it's 6:30. I better get up and go to her place.
Oh, no.
Let me help
That's
you guys
the
out.
last thing you do before you walk out the door.
The last.
Shower
So
and wash.
if you're supposed to meet her at 7, your shower should be at 6. By the time you get the lotion on, get the puff cologne on, got your clothes nice, and you go over there, Jeff. This is where guys fail. The moment you get there, and you go, oh, I gotta use your bathroom real quick. Hey, Jeff, what are you supposed to do when you go to the bathroom real quick? Clean up again.
Well, I was gonna say you better have brought your wet wipes with you.
Get the wet wipe. Give a quick little whoop, 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 whoop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because guess what, guys? She is in her own domain, or even if you guys meet at a hotel, she's supposed to be there. Do not have swamp ass. I'm tired of listening to this shit.
Now, white guys, you can wait till 6:20 to shower because we don't use lotion.
Yeah.
We don't use lotion.
Look, man, I'm telling you, white dudes out here with these rusty ass elbows, man. That shit ain't cute.
I was 42 when I discovered lotion.
Damn. See, Joe, you gotta hang around the brothers, man. We're gonna get you real lathery. You're gonna be lathery than a motherfucker.
Just shiny.
Just shining. Everywhere you go, Jack Nicholson just shining out here.
Yeah, I was 42 when I discovered the blessings of lotion.
Well, and I tell the women this. I tell white people in general because white people do this thing where I'm going to help white people out right now, especially white women, because y'all really need the help. When you get out of a shower and you just put clothes on, your skin is dry. So when you go out and put sunscreen on or something, and the sun bakes you, or you go to a fake tanning salon, right? Guess what all that shit does? Dries out your skin and makes you age faster.
Yeah, ladies, tanning beds are microwaves.
They are. It's a literal microwave.
Put some nice juicy food in your microwave and spin it for 3 minutes and see what it looks like.
Yep. It was juicy though, right? Remember how great it was?
Oh, man. Before you put it in.
Before you put it in, and see, and that's what it's doing to you. Well, I was talking to Kelly about this. I said, look, I got to do a series of making women great again. And we're going to start with, we're going to go all the way down the line, Jeff. What are ladies supposed to do when they get out of the shower? Because just like I said, I'm gonna help the dudes, right? Wash your ass. So I'm actually gonna take a video of me in the shower. I'm gonna have swim trunks on, right? I'm gonna have swim trunks on. I'm gonna take a shower, and then when it comes to the good bits, I'm gonna have a mannequin, and I'm gonna go over how to wash yourself, because you dudes are fucking lame and you can't even know how to be clean for a woman. So do you know that, Jeff? I should read the text that Sweet Tea sent.
Again, you're ruining it for those of us that know how to do it. Why are you encouraging them to take our place?
Jeff, here's the thing though. These guys' game is so whack that it won't help them anyway, right? You took a strong 29-year-old to a club and he didn't know what to do. Let that sink in. A 29-year-old is upstaged by a 53-year-old gray man.
Yep.
Why is that happening? Because guess what, Jeff? That little clip we showed before that shows the social interaction scale. See, they chose not to do that. They elected not to do that. They elected to go like this.
I'm online, 4K visuals.
I did run into him in a restaurant last night, and we had this conversation. It was a very short conversation. Hi, dude. Hey, Jeff. Alex and I are gonna play Magic the Gathering on Saturday. You want to join us? Nope. That was the end of the conversation. Nope.
But hold on, Jeff. To that point, these are the kind of guys that 10 years later say bitches ain't shit, right?
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? The women are weird. No, bro, it's you.
Yeah, I missed the part of the conversation. What time? I think he said 6 or 7 p.m. Nope. Now, if you want to do it 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 to 4, all right, maybe. But After that, I'm busy. Yeah.
Jeff, they never get it. I was talking about this. I started thinking about this. I said, dude, the fact that there's like basic shit that people like just like interactions, they just don't know how to interact. I'm like, you should have learned this when you were like 4. What have you been doing? Well, you know, I was doing this. Okay, so let me get it straight. You thought sitting online in a virtual space was analogous to real world interaction? I always shout out to my girl, Mama Vic. You know how much I love Mama Vic. We've talked about this at these cons and all these things. These people don't understand social interaction, Jeff. They've been living in this virtual world for so long that like when they find this is the reason why like when they meet someone like whether it's Vic or whoever, like a celebrity, or I saw even with Nick, oh my God, Nick Rekieta. It's like Nick is just like, I'm just Nick. You can literally just be like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Like, but see, Jeff, if you grew up in a certain world, you would know that. Just be cool. Don't be all starstruck and awestruck and all this stuff. Just like this. Hey, Jeff, you know, when someone sees you in public, you're like, hey, Legal Vices, I'm a fan of your show. You're like, oh yeah, thanks. You can be very civil.
Yeah, see, I kind of had that advantage because I worked in a radio station from 16 to roughly 21, minus 2 years for a Mormon missionary trip. But I mean, we promoted the concerts all the time, so I got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly of the people we were promoting. And I was actually thanked by one person for the interaction I had with them. And it was in an elevator in Park City, Utah. I got in an elevator and there's this short little black dude in there. I'm like, I was just kind of thinking, this it looks like Bobby McFerrin. So, and this it was totally nonverbal. This was our conversation. I look over at him and I do this. And he looks at me and goes, and I went, and he goes, and got off the elevator.
Yep.
And then later he comes up and he goes, hey, thanks for making that a cool elevator ride.
Yep.
Because like, oh, and it was just like, are you Bobby McFerrin? Yeah, if that's who it was. Like, are you who I think you are? Well, if that's who you think I am, yeah. Bobby McFerrin? Yeah, all right, cool. It was all nonverbal. It was just like, okay, it wasn't like, oh my God, can I get you to sign this? You know.
But Jeff, you know what's crazy? It is that same, oh my God, sign this. That same like switch in your mind is why a lot of guys are incels now, right?
Well,
like they have opportunity. She's right there, right? Yeah. She gave you a choosing signal, right? Like twirled the hair or something. And the guy goes, oh, I should probably, and then they say something stupid, right? You play Magic the Gathering? Oh my God, you're so gorgeous.
I saw an interview with John Cleese 2 days ago, where he was talking about meeting fans, because the interviewer said, well, are you just really tired of meeting fans? He says, not really, because he said, weirdly, people run up to me and they say, oh my God. And he said, then strangely, this is their one chance in their lifetime to meet me. And they just want to talk a lot. So I just have to sit there and wait for them to finish. And then I walk off. Like, they don't want to hear from me. They just want to talk to me. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yep.
Well, we have about 5 minutes left and I got a hard out. We got to talk about Becky the Ass Wrecker. Can we do that in 5?
We can.
All right, we promised to get that. I've been waiting for that to get through here.
Oh, don't forget, I have your video to show the fans.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do this. We've got these super chats here. Then we'll do the video. And
all right, let me go use the bathroom yet again.
All right,
I'll be right back.
We will do this while you're gone. All right, Scrath. Scrath says, I was in a long-term relationship, no marriage, and still lost my house and pretty much everything I built for myself prior to shacking up and inevitably splitting. Now I want nothing to do with anyone. Valid statement. Yep. And MD Tom, we're gonna segue straight over to the Rudolph trial, and we're gonna pick up day 5. Ashton girl, what's up? Thank you so much for the super chat. I moved to Ohio to take care of my grandma years ago. She would tell me how Youngstown was much safer when the mob ran it. Now it's gang infested, right? Because there is no honor in the gangs. The mafia are all about hierarchy, respect, and honor. You don't play the game, you are taken off the board. So yeah, they were much more efficient running things. Jessica Reloaded, good morning, Drex and Jeff. Hey, good morning, Jessica. We said good morning to you earlier. We'll say it again. John Gordon. 10 years ago, I was going through New Mexico in the middle of nowhere. I stopped at the most ghetto Mexican place I've ever seen in my life. That place had the best Mexican food Mexican foot I've ever eaten. Oh, DREX should have been here for that. Yeah, the best Mexican food you've ever eaten. Seriously. Some of the off the strip places in Vegas are so off the hook good. Richard Gruber again. I'll argue that I watch video streams for games I'm not either super into or not good at. I like watching. I watch some of them, but that's just not my life, you know. Unhung Hero, you're saying chicks don't dig skid marks? I've been doing this wrong the whole time. Go away. TG 1987, pig brains to eat. A tentative medicine, do not ever eat anything from the central nervous system of an animal, including eyes. Cow eye tacos are pretty damn good too. Can't count out stuff you'll make. Oh yeah, make you waste / become potato. They're good. Can't help it. All right, so the video you sent me the other day, is that the one we're talking about?
Yeah.
All right, this is messed up. That's
all. Oh wait, you actually watched it?
Oh yeah. This is a messed up video. And I guess it's sort of the capstone on our conversation this evening.
Yeah, because there's people out there all over the world, different time zones. They may be having a shitty day, even though it's Friday. They may have had a rough week, and like this lets you know that your life isn't that bad, man.
Yeah, I say you got to bring this thing up here.
You should have seen the defeat on your face just now.
I know. This is literally the capstone of everything we've been talking about. This is why this isn't why we're where we are. This is where we are because of the things we've been talking about. This is the end result of not digging an infection out. You have to destroy some of the healthy tissue to make sure you get the whole thing out. This is what happens when you let the infestation creep up on you. Do I have to push play?
And stepmom into porn, which is something I do every day, and I just clicked on the first thing I saw, and I knew 2 seconds in that it was Tracy because she's my stepmom. And then I thought, well, maybe she's just an actor. Some of these things are fake, but then I saw Steven, my brother. I knew it was him right away because we have matching Ant-Man tattoos on our back from the Paul Rudd movie. And I thought, well, at least it's not the whole family. At least Dad's not there. And then Dad knocked on the door. And then I thought to myself, well, you know what? Maybe I was out of town. I've never been out of town in my life. I've never left this town. But I thought maybe I was out of town. And then Dad goes, don't worry. Grace is downstairs. She's eating chili. She'll never hear a fucking thing. And I remember that chili too. I would have put the chili down, honestly, if they could have let me into having a porn with them. I love chili, but it's not more important than family porn.
Now, see, look, we got the people going, this is scripted, this is fake, but we also have people in the chat going, is this real? The fact that you have to look at that and there's a debate whether this is real or not, that tells you everything you did.
That tells you everything you need to know because, okay, back in the day, if someone sent something that was too absurd, you would say, oh, this is clearly parody, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is where we're at, Jeff. Watch this. Even when we talk about Becca the Ass Wrecker, if I were to describe Becca the Ass Wrecker in 1996, you would have said that this person doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
No, there's nobody, there's no chick out there pegging dudes. Oh, prime example. When you told me that you're a Russian girl.
Oh my God, yeah.
Please tell me you're going to fuck me, right? I'm not going to be the one fucking
yes,
you.
That was a request I got. Please, no, she said, are you going to ask me to peg you?
Yep.
And I said, why on God's earth would I ever ask that? And she was just happy because that's apparently a request she gets a lot.
That's all it is now. And
she was happy that I said no. That was enough.
Let that sink in. Jeff, I talked about the lack of masculinity earlier, right? That these ladies are, this is where Becca is. Because I told Becca, I was like, Becca, look, now you know I love you, but you're dead wrong on your views on this thing, right? Because you remember, I talked about the fact that, like, I believe that masculinity and heterosexuality ultimately are they're analogous. Because at the end of the day, think about this: if you're a woman, this is for all ladies out there, no matter how masculine the dude you're with or you're dealing with in any capacity, if you walk in on him doing a homosexual act, you don't look at him the same, right? Even if you walk into him and he's with a woman, but he's bent over, Jack Murphy style, or his heels are in the air, you'd be like, I can't see him the same, right? You can never get that image out of your mind. But see, if you walk in on him and he's smashing a chick or two, you're like, he's doing what men are supposed to do. Yeah. So when these women are coming to you, Jeff, and they're saying, please don't ask me to peg. And you're like, no, I'm going to be smashed. I'm going to be pegging you. And they're like, oh, thank God. I warned y'all on Nick's show how prevalent it was. Right? I fucking warned you. And they said, oh, no, Drex is a weirdo. He's just making this up. I said, look, how many people have been exposed now, right, for being into all kinds of weirdo kink stuff where they're, and the dudes are all these like submissives and shit, right? You're hearing more and more, or they're actual cuckolds, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I said this on Nick's show, I got a lot of blowback. And I was telling you, I said, you guys, I'm telling you this because I actually know what goes on behind closed doors. So when you guys look at pictures of families and they're smiling, he's cheesing, he's a network engineer, he's whatever, and you think he's a good, solid American guy, Drex. And I'm thinking to myself, nah, bro, I can look in his eyes, he's a fucking cuck. Well, how could you say that? Yeah, she's looking for a side dude right now. How do you know? Yeah. I was like, body language. Jeff, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Can you walk into a place in Korea right now and just get a sense of things?
Oh, yeah.
Like
absolutely.
You can see a couple and be like, oh yeah, she wears the pants, or that dude's a fucking he's undercover, right? He's on the DL. Like you just over time, you just have to get an eye for it, right?
It's just situational awareness.
Situational awareness. So when people were sitting there saying, "Oh, Drex, you're making this up," I go, dude, like, what do you want me to tell you? I just know. I just go into an environment and like when I see couples eat, I can see a couple eat together, right? Yeah. And I size up their interactions, and I'm like, oh no, this ain't it. This ain't it. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? When you're sitting there.
Oh no, this happened. This happened a month ago. Me and my friend were sitting in a bar. We're just having drinks and talking, meeting up, and across the bar there was a Korean dude, and she looked to be probably Filipina at the other side of the bar. She spent 80% of her time looking at me and my friend, and about 20% looking at her date. And when we're flirting with each other across the bar, he looks at his phone. She looks up at it. It was just fun. We knew nothing was going to come of it, but we knew she was way more interested in anyone else in that bar than the dude she was with.
Absolutely. Well, I got to say this, though. This is why I tell guys out there not to get used, because what a lot of these channels tell guys is get your money up, bro. Get your money up. You're going to be so high value. Women, you won't be able to fight the women off of you when you turn 30 or 40. I'm like looking at these guys like, okay, finance don't equal romance, right?
Every first date I go on, Starbucks.
That's right.
That's it. If you don't want me to take you to Starbucks, fuck off.
Yeah, or let's go for a walk.
You take a woman to $100 steak every week. The first week you don't buy that $100 steak. Well, you don't love me anymore?
You don't love me? What have you done for me lately? And God forbid you're dumb enough to take a black woman. I mean, that's a you problem. But when you do something like that, you're gonna be like, it's gonna be double, because it's like you took me to steak last week. I thought we were going for lobsters.
It's Valentine's Day.
It's like
special. Yeah.
The fuck? So, and Jeff, I bring that up because like it leads into what I talked to Becca about. This is what happened to Becca. Like I said, I love Becca. I consider her a friend. However, her lifestyle led to exactly where I said it was going to lead to. I said, Becca, you're dead wrong. Because she tried to fight me on the whole, masculinity versus, heterosexual, homosexual thing. Guys getting pegged. Is that gay? I'm going to tell you that right now. The only ethnic group of women who believes that pegging still makes you a heterosexual man is white women. If you ask a black chick right now, go like this: hey, if you peg a dude, what do you think? She's going, oh yeah, that ninja gay. Walk to a Latina. Oh yeah. Oh no, he gay. I'll be liking like that. Go up to an Asian, right? Oh no, he the whole. So if he's the
racist accents brought to you by DREX.
Right? If a dude is out there doing, he's simulating homosexual acts, right? This is no bullshit. Every ethnic group would say that dude is on the other side, right? The only group, Jeff, who will say that they'll describe something very gay, and they'd be like, "Oh no, that's not gay." Like giving each other hand jobs as a dude is not gay. The dude's like, "What the fuck?" Like white chicks have this crazy barometer for what they will allow sexually to be Think about who uses the term hetero-flexible. It ain't black people.
White chicks do better.
Dude, Jeff, anything goes. I gotta give white chicks credit though, because you know what the flip side of that is. The same
Anything goes.
Anything goes. So it's like, well, so I can't be mad at it, right? It's like, well, you know, I mean, like I said, like, so this is what ends up happening. Becca tells me all this shit, right? She's out there wrecking all these asses, and I told Becca, I said, Becca, you know that this is what is going to end up happening, and you know, I talked about the masculinity. So she hits me up. I'm tired of it, DREX. Oh, what happened? So now, not only is she tired of wrecking asses, she's come to the realization now that she's in her mid-30s, what the dating market looks like for a girl in her mid-30s, right?
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh. So Jeff, guess what she wants now? Just take a wild guess. What do all women in their 30s want?
We just have to look at the classic modern example of that. The lovely bride of Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, smashing Tupac's boots to no end. Tupac's not there anymore. Nobody else wants her. So now I need the beta dude with the money who's just gonna be my solid ground. He's gonna be my footing. Yeah, there ain't nowhere to go from Tupac but down.
You only go down. So now what ends up happening is, DREX, I don't want to do hookup culture anymore.
I want my Will Smith.
I want a real relationship. Wait, the fuck do you mean? Do you remember what I kept telling you for years? Now, here's the problem, though. Becca is a super freak. Are you starting to see where all of these things twist into, basically, they're going to leave you in misery? This is what I tell women. If you're pegging dudes, you already have a contorted view of how you view men, right?
Yeah.
Then the guys that you really want will only come over to smash you, right? But then you get tired of them because you're like, why is it that you only want sex? And the guy's like looking at you like, fuck, that's what I want. Like, what else do you offer? Like, the fuck? So so she basically boxed herself in. So now, guess what? And this is what happens when you know, she has a certain appearance, right? And I warned her what her appearance would do. I said, your appearance and your demeanor is going to lead to beta dudes who want to get pegged being the only guys who come up to you, right? You've seen this happen, right? Like, you know, women who give off a certain energy and they go, how come the only guys I attract are like weak, soft dudes? I'm like, because you present yourself as strong, so you only get weak dudes. Guess what? Sweet, docile, attractive, dainty girls tend to attract who, Jeff?
If you've been selling socks in the same location for 20 years and one day you start selling light bulbs, don't be surprised when people come looking for socks.
Yep. You did it to yourself. And I said that to her, and she's starting to realize, like, and so now she's going the cope hard, right? Like, you know, am I just going to die alone, or, you know? And I was like, I mean, this is kind of what you wanted, though, right? Like, you pushed away certain people, and I did this with, I don't know if you saw the stream I did with Andrew to give you an idea of where this is headed. That prom picture, Jeff, is where the future is headed. One girl had a date, right? One. The other three were single, and they had their gay best friend who did their hair and makeup.
Yeah.
But based on what you hear about out of the public school system, Jeff, is that not accurate? 25% have a man, right? 1 in 4, and the rest, you guys just deal with the beta male, gender fluid scraps. So congrats, you. This is the feminist utopia. So guess what, Jeff? Now her son, all of her sons have the genetic code, right? So they can go get girls, and they were out there. His older brothers bought him a box of condoms for his birthday. Like, well, we already know what you're doing, so go out here and smash. He locked down the good girl, or vice versa. The good girl locked down him. So he's like, yeah, I don't want to deal with any. I don't want to fuck with the hoes. I don't do none of that stuff, right? Just like that, Jeff, he flipped the switch.
Okay.
60. He's going on. Was 17 years old now. The reason why I bring that up is this: I've heard people that make these comments, and you know that this is true. At the end of the day, guys will leave the hoes alone if they have one quality woman in front of them. They go, oh yeah, you want me to choose between random hoes and all the drama they bring, or one quality woman who cooks me meals, sweet, soft, submissive, feminine? Yeah, I'll leave the hoes alone. Delete my number. So why is that important? Jeff, they don't make very many of those, right?
Nope.
Sweet girls. So now what you're starting to recognize is if they don't get snatched up early, the only thing you're left with is those other 3 girls who went to prom. Eventually, they're going to get smutted out, right? Give it time, right? Because think about it. If no one's dating anymore, right? So the gay guy's gonna do your hair and nails and give you all the confirmation. And when you cry on your shoulder after you got spit roasted at a party while drunk, you're gonna cry on that gay shoulder, right? That rainbow colored shoulder. And he's gonna tell you how beautiful and stunning and amazing you are. And then you're gonna go right back to getting smashed again. And you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna look at that girl, that friend of yours, who has a man, a real man. And what are you gonna do, Jeff? Be bitter, envious, and miserable. That is the future that we find ourselves in, which is why I tell the guys, get your fucking passport.
We tried to find some hope and light in this conversation. I tried to push him down the road to seeing a little tiny light at the end of the tunnel, but we had another big old DREX black pill. We got a black pill right at the end.
Tell these dudes, go overseas, stretch your money further, stretch everything goes further over there. You will be appreciated. To me, this is I would even argue this is like a blue pill ending. When you go to a place that prioritizes masculinity and men and does not penalize you for being a provider and protector and doesn't demonize you just for, God forbid, you're a white dude, you're really demonized, right? Jane Fonda talking crazy about white men. Go to where you're celebrated, not tolerated. So if you're tolerated here, go to where you're Black men have dealt with this for decades, right? Y'all ain't shit. That's all. That most Black men, that's all they've heard since the moment they were born is that they ain't shit. And then they finally went somewhere else and they were like this. Hey, I got low self-esteem. And the girl was like, oh my God. And they were like nice to them. They're like, what the fuck? What's going on? Cook them a meal? Wow.
DREX, 15 minutes late for my next stream. My
Shit,
trial stream.
God damn it.
You want
Right. Get out of here.
Join us for a trial stream?
Well, I'm gonna go eat something because I was supposed to eat before I got on.
I'm gonna be doing this all day for you, all day your time.
Well, I do gotta go to
send
work.
you a link if you want to join back in.
Yeah, send the link, and I'll definitely try to at least hop in right before I go to work and just kind of check out what's going on.
It's crazy time. It's absolute crazy train there. We're doing the CSI woman who looks sort of like Brienne of Tarth gone to pot.
Who is this? I gotta write
this is an ex-NFL player, Travis Rudolph.
Oh, that one. Yeah, she set him up.
Yeah.
She Randolph.
She apparently lied about being a beat down, told her son, go shoot his shit up. And he said he's a walking dead man. And then turns out that one of his friends was the dead man.
Women
that's
don't
what's
lie,
on
right
trial here. DREX, I hope you can join at some point. I'll send you the link. If you get a time coming, pleasure to have you. I'm too bad we couldn't do another one of our 5-hour streams.
I know.
You got to work. I got to do more shit.
It happens. But Jeff, thanks always for having me on. You know I love you. And that's why I scream your name more than anybody else's.
We'll do it again soon. Yep. Just, keep
Peace
it.
out, everybody.
Next time you're getting pegged, just scream my name. That's all you got to do.
Jeff.
And on that note, we are out of here. Everybody should get sent immediately over to my other stream. Let people know I will be there in 2 minutes. DREX, thank you so much.
Thanks a bunch. Peace out.
Talk soon. Bye.